How's it look? How do I look, guys? Ooh, it's been a minute, quite literally. Literally been a minute since last week's episode. But only a minute for me, a week for y'all. Because I'm pre-recording because I want this stress to be done, okay? I have so much going on. Y'all already know that from last episode. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, go listen to that. We're drinking the same beer. Same one as last time. We might have to open a new one during this. I hope not, though, because I'm hoping I can wait for my second one till after I'm done with the recording part. So we'll see. But good morning, beautiful people. It is currently 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. Isn't that exciting? My paid time off has officially started. I'm recording this last episode, then we're gonna edit it, and I honestly don't think I'm gonna do the social media clips. I'm sorry. I might, but we'll see. Not today, maybe not. Maybe not today. But maybe. Who knows? I'm more just focused on the inspector that's coming. That's really making me nervous. But we're just going to get this done. We're going to get it all done. We're going to be amazing. We're going to be fantastic. Everybody's going to be like, wow, how does he do it? And I'm going to be like, God, genuinely, I don't know how else. God himself. It gets me through it. So, yeah. Maybe we can spend this episode talking about my dating trauma. I don't think we should do that. I don't know if I'm ready to unpack that, but maybe I should get back on the apps. Basically, I've had a bad 2 past experiences with women, and I don't fully know why, because on the other hand, it's not like I was looking for something serious either, but it still hurts. You know what I mean? So I'd say maybe I should stop looking for something stop looking for something not serious, but that would mean I'd have to start looking for something serious, and I genuinely don't think anything good comes from me looking for something serious, because I don't feel like anybody's looking for something serious in this generation at my age. So I don't know. I don't even know if I'm looking for something serious. I am. Okay, I am, but that's the thing, is it depends on who you talk to. I was going to say it depends on what you define as serious. I am not having babies until, I would say, at least 26. But I mean, maybe sooner. Everybody always says 26 or whatever. And it's just, life never goes as planned. But like, all I can say for sure is I'm not having babies until at least I'm financially independent, and I could know that even if no employer on earth or nobody ever would ever give me money or help or whatever, there would be like a house that we could live in, even if it doesn't have electricity or water or whatever it is. I think that's like that's my bare minimum, but more than that, you know what I mean? I'd rather it be like I'm not having kids until, I don't know, until God wants me to have kids, I guess. But like I'm not. I see people my age. I knew people who like had kids at like 16. I don't know how y'all do it. I'm not shading anybody. I just how at 16 I was like struggling and figuring myself out. I was taking shots of espresso because I didn't want to drink yet, because I did have it drilled in my head that like you can't drink till you're like 21. And so I subbed it with espresso, and it made me not feel great because I'm super sensitive to caffeine and stimulants, as I would later learn. Yeah, it's crazy. Is the focus thing on? You guys, I'm so paranoid about that focus thing. If you don't already know, sometimes it does this thing where I have a cord plugged into the side of the camera so that it'll charge while we record. It doesn't actually charge it, it just maintains it, basically, because it's using a lot of battery right now, believe it or not. But anyway, I have that like plugged in right now, and so like it'll sometimes accidentally touch the camera whenever I'm setting it up, and I didn't check, but thank God it didn't do that this time. So I had to double check. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment. Basically, all of this to say, I don't want babies anytime soon. I don't think that's surprising. I don't think younger me would have been surprised by that. I think younger me would have stuck by 26 too. At some point, I'll have babies. At some point, I'll have a wedding. But that is one thing I will never understand. How can you, as a man, I don't know about a woman, because y'all all know I don't believe in like traditional gender norms or whatever. But how can you, as a man, especially if you have traditional gender norms, because I feel like this is where it's the most applicable. How can you as a man have a child and buy a house with a mortgage when you don't know where your next like payment for that house is going to come? How can you as a man just say, I know what I'll do, put my family in debt and say we'll figure it out, when anybody can pull that rug under you at any given moment? You're stressing to your employer saying, how am I going to afford my mortgage if you fire me? How am I going to afford my mortgage if I don't like blah, 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 if I don't meet my sales this month, if I don't blah, blah, blah? I get it, okay? And I'm not, I'm privileged enough to not have that issue. I'm just saying, why are we buying mortgages? A baby, okay, fine, they happen. Maybe it was an accidental pregnancy. Maybe you had to take on your sister's kid or whatever it is. Okay, it happens. Okay, fine. Why are we buying a mortgage? If you don't have enough money to pay for that house, why are we buying a mortgage? Now, I can get it if you don't have enough money, but it's a realistic income in the sense of you can easily get. So in my example, okay, I would think I wouldn't want to buy a house that a job at McDonald's couldn't afford, because like I don't have like a medical degree or something. I have a bachelor's degree, but girl, in this economy, girl. But like I fully acknowledge that like I have expertise. I have a lot of valuable skills, but this job economy is rough, okay? And so the only job I feel like I could for sure get if worst came to worst is like minimum wage, like fast food type thing, right? Because I'm like highly qualified for that. They would love me there. They'd probably like take advantage of me or something, but like still, like they would love me there. I'd be able to get a job there. I'd be able to get something in at least minimum wage. Okay, right? So I would think if I were to buy a mortgage, I would think, okay, I can't guarantee, or if you're in a contract, you can guarantee. That could make sense, okay? But like if you're in a contract, or I can guarantee like this much income, like if I drive like Uber or something, okay? So I shouldn't buy a mortgage more than that. But then people will straight up be like, I never heard this phrase until I was looking at houses, and I heard apparently people will straight up say, will grow into the mortgage. No, you won't. You need to start paying that mortgage as of next month. How quickly do you grow? I'm just asking for a friend, because how are you going to be buying a house that you can't afford and just say, I'm going to grow into it when the mortgage is due next month? And if you take more than 3 months to grow into it, they are pulling the rug from you. And you're going to have a freaking foreclosure on your record. You're going to be your credit's going to be horrible. You're going to be so cooked. Why are we buying mortgages we can't afford in this economy? But again, I also fully acknowledge I am very privileged. I have not had to face these issues, thank God. And I will not deny that, okay? I'm asking, okay? I knew somebody who, okay, no, I don't want to, that's my bad. But let's just say some people have 2 mortgages and can't even afford one. I beg your finest pardon? I don't know. But honestly, props to you, because at the same time, you're dealing with a lot of stress. And the fact that you're surviving is very impressive. I will give you that. But personally, money is just something that's always mattered to me, I guess, is more so what it is. It's not so much about like you're a worse person, you're a better person. It's just money has always been so important to me, because I never want to be in a situation where somebody could take where I live away from me, or somebody could tell me like what I can or can't get or whatever. And so I've just always been super conservative with money. So I just don't get it. But look, there's people that do that. It's like gambling, you know what I mean? There's people that do that and it pays off. But then there's people that do it and it does not pay off. I think it would break my heart to think, oh, this is my home, get everything moved in, get furniture for it, and then one day somebody just pull the rug. I could not. Genuinely. I'm just so anxious about money. I don't get it. I don't get it. But if you're doing it, I give you a round of applause, because it's not easy. And I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying you're a bad man. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you're a bad woman if you're a woman doing it. Whatever. I'm just saying I hope that's never me. That's just what I'm saying, okay? And I'm not saying that could never be me, because again, I fully acknowledge I'm in a place of privilege, okay? But like, I just don't get it, and I don't want to get it. Thank God. I would happily hear somebody's story, but do not mistake this as I want this experience, because I give everybody my respect that's living through it. It is not easy. It's not just like a cute little I'm living my best life. It is like a constant how am I going to pay for this? I'm in so much credit card debt. I'm so whatever. I hate that. Speaking of which, I should really no, I shouldn't. Me about to check my credit cards while I'm recording. Guys, my social security number. Like anyway. And so thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I don't mean to offend anybody with that. It's just something I'm very passionate about. Why are we doing that? But I also don't get it. You know what I mean? The reason I'm so passionate about it is because I don't get it. And so somebody could make me get it. I fully acknowledge that. It just takes one person who wants to explain it, and I would be like, I get it. You know what I mean? But that's all that I got. Anyway, that's the end of. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's been like 10 minutes. Aside from that, circling back again, serious dating. It's just not something that I can see myself doing, because to me, serious dating is finding a wife and getting married and buying a house and having kids. And I'm 22. I'm figuring my life out. Like everybody is at 20. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you have a PhD at 22. If you're 22, you're figuring your life out, okay? And I'm finding happiness, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I'm in, because it's not where I thought I was going to be. I thought right now I would be in, what is it right now? May. Yeah, so I didn't, yeah. So I thought that right now I'd be finishing my first year of medical school. That is where I thought that I would be right now. That is not where I'm at right now. And that's okay. Because I really feel like I'm happier than I've ever been. And that's something I had to decide in college is, do I want to be the best student ever and have a stellar resume and stuff? Or do I want to be happy? And do I want to live my life? And it's a priority that I'm grateful to have chosen. And I'm glad that I chose. And I'm glad I still finished college. I got my degree and I did all that stuff. And I do see myself using it one day. I do. But right now, I didn't get into the grad schools that I applied to. And I'll just have to work harder to get into one day if I choose to pursue that. But right now, at least I'm learning about myself. You know what I mean? I'm becoming happy with myself. I'm learning. I like running. I like cooking. We already kind of knew, but still. I like drinking some wine at the end of a long day. I like puppies. Again, some of the stuff I've already known, but still. I one of the biggest things I think that I've learned that I think is so essential is I've learned to be by myself. I've eliminated the codependency part of my life for the most part. I think as people, we're always kind of codependent. We always need somebody, even if it's just oversharing with the lady at the grocery store or something. But like still, I'm finding a balance, and I think that's such a blessing, and it's something that I have that not everybody does. And so, yeah, no, I'm not in my first year of medical, or I guess I would be going into my second year of medical school, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Because I'm learning more valuable lessons to me. I'm learning to be happy, and I'm learning to balance my life, and I'm getting like assets and learning. I'm getting like independence, we'll say. And that's something that's I'm really grateful for. And the other things will come whenever God's timing is. I really do trust that. But for now, I'm doing really good, and I think that's a really big blessing. It's something I'm super grateful for. It's something I've been thinking about a lot, especially I remember my first long run. I was running a crazy distance. That's when I suddenly shot from my highest run was like 5.6 miles to like 7.5 because it just straight up added like 19 minutes to my longest run ever or something like that something crazy like that. That tastes so good. That tastes like a beer that looks like that. Would like a beer from like the 60s or something. It's giving Fallout. Y'all know Fallout, that game. Anyway, and so why did I bring up my long run versus my longest? Oh yeah, I've been thinking a lot about how grateful I am just for the life that I have right now. the opportunities that I have. It really is a blessing. Um, Me checking the lights to see if they're still on because I wasn't sure. The lighting has gone off, but that makes sense because it's approaching sunset. So anyway, um, not these lightings. These lightings have not gone off, thank God. I mean, like any like other lightings. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm just super grateful. I really feel like I'm where I should be, which is I think such a blessing to be able to say, in a weird way, because I'm not where I thought I'd be. But I also prayed in high school that if I'm not meant to be a doctor, make everything go against it, and God's will to just be done. And sometimes it's felt like that. I'm not saying that's to say I will never be a doctor, but maybe just now isn't the time, and that's okay. Um, but yeah, there's been a lot going on. I've been really grateful. I was just thinking about that my entire first round. I was like, I get to do this. You know what I mean? I get to work, make money, and then afterwards go on an 8.5 mile run last Saturday. Like, what a blessing. You know what I mean? Um, I get to learn how to maintain an entire home, learn how to balance work with life, learn how to stay busy all the time without burning out, learn how to not overgive and overextend myself to people and things. It really is just such a blessing. I get to learn confidence in myself whenever people reject me, although being rejected is really hard. But it's just really such a blessing and a great opportunity. Something I've just been thinking, reflecting on a lot. So that's where I've been at mentally a lot. It's such a blessing. But yeah. Other than that, what else do I have to update you guys on? Like I said, I've been super into movies. We can talk about that. I've been going to the movie theater with my mom for 2 weeks straight now. We went on discount day because, guys, there's a discount day for movies. I didn't know that until very recently. I saw that there was allegedly one, but I didn't understand it or how it worked. Turns out you might need to be a rewards member with them, but like you just need to like go there on Tuesdays. It seems like is the general discount day for movies, and the tickets are like half the price. It's fantastic, even for like new movies. It's great. But anyway, I guess nobody wants to go on Tuesdays. I wonder why. Anyway, um, and so we went the past 2 times. We've had so much fun. We went like all out. Cause like I said, the first day we got cocktails, and we got something to eat. I think we got 2 things to eat. I don't remember. It might have just been one. But it was. I know we got fries, and these were all on one platter. But fries and corn dogs. That's what it was. Those are super good. And this time we got Skittles, 2 cocktails, and what was the other thing we got? The jumbo pretzel and mozzarella sticks and popcorn. We got popcorn both times. And it's just been so fun. We are kind of splurging with it, that's for sure. We alternated. She paid last time. I paid this time. But like, it's fun. But I will say we probably need to, especially because I paid for seat upgrades, kind of, sort of. I paid for a bougier theater, the one with like the really big screen, and I don't regret it. It was a great experience. I loved it. But like, it was only $3 and $3.50 more. So like, but we definitely splurged, and we probably shouldn't splurge every time, but it makes the splurge easier whenever it's a discount day. You know what I mean? It's better than a non-discount day. And I figure we'll probably just explore the menu, and then eventually we'll get bored of it anyway. So we'll just get cocktails and popcorn, and it'll be fun. Because my thing is, every time I see a movie, I'm gonna get a beer. You know what I mean? Now, there's some exceptions. If I'm seeing a movie with a minor, not gonna do that. Like, that's not illegal, but it seems illegal. Because like I'm probably gonna be the one driving. I guess if I'm not the one driving, no, still that's weird. That's weird. So probably not. Anyway, if I'm seeing a movie with somebody I don't know well, I've done that before actually. I did that on like the first online date that I did. That was a again disaster fiasco. We don't need to talk about it. Let's talk about it anyway. My first date, I went to Yard House with a girl. It was really just to talk and get drinks, but then she didn't bring her ID to get drinks, and I was like, honestly, that should have been a red flag from the get-go. I was really trying to discourage her from coming at that point because I was like, that's really weird. I think it's really weird that I wanted to go to Yard House with you to get some drinks because we both had stressful days at work, and then you're gonna tell me you don't have your ID, so you're not gonna get drinks. I think that's really weird. And so I tried to discourage her and be like, well, that's kind of weird for you to come then. No. I mean, I said it more socially lubricated than that, but like, that was the gist of it. And she was like, no, it's fine. I'm good with just like getting a lemonade or something. And I was like, okay, I just want to make it clear to you though, I'm not covering your meal. We had already established that in advance because we don't know each other. We're just doing like a hangout or whatever. I'm not paying her bill. I don't care. Oh, I'm the man. I don't care. I don't know her. I wasn't that interested in her. I I wanted to like flirt and get to know her better and stuff, but like I'm not her guardian. Why should I pay for her drink? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pay for her meal and her drink and stuff. We never in our lives have met up to this point. Um, and she ended up ordering nothing. It was so weird. I really, from the get go, should have just like clocked the weirdness of it. But I'm so nice, and I was like, hi, blah blah blah. And we talked, and I thought we were having a good time. But then I told her, I was like, should I get another drink, or are you gonna want to see a movie after this? And then she's like, I don't know. I was like, okay, well, no answer is an answer. So, and I basically said that, by the way. So I got another drink because I was all like, we're not gonna go see a movie after this. Then after I freaking order a drink and start drinking it, she's like, so are we gonna go see the movie? Ugh. The way I should have just been like, no. I ended up paying for her movie ticket just because it was easier than just asking if she's gonna pay for it. And then she was so funny. She was not especially attractive. I'm so sorry, but like, she did not have the pretty privilege to be saying this. She literally said to me, I don't even remember what I said, but then the implication was because I paid for her ticket or whatever. She was all like, as you should. And I said, what? Because I genuinely couldn't hear her. But also, that's the reaction I should be giving to as you should is what? Because what are you talking about? Who are you? I literally don't know you. And then she said, as you should, because I'm worth it. And I said, I didn't say this, sorry. I thought in my head, I just didn't react. But in my head, I thought, I don't know you. What do you mean you deserve it? You don't deserve it. That stranger over there deserves it as much as you do. Maybe more because he didn't just say that he deserves it. Like, what? That just the craziest, the audacity. But I was just like, okay. And then we watched the movie. And then afterwards, she got super weird about things, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed early." And I was like, okay." I could tell the feels were off, and I was like, "Okay, let me see how it feels tomorrow." The feels were off again, and then I just straight up ended up texting her, and I was like, "Hey," because our date was like the day after. That was supposed to just be like quick drinks, and then the actual date was supposed to be like the day after, the day after. So if the date was on a Wednesday, the date was supposed to be on a Friday, but on Thursday it was still off. Wednesday night it was off. So Thursday I was just like, hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. If you're not interested, I'd rather you tell me that now because I don't want to waste my time. You know, and I did say it again smoother than that, but that's the gist of what I said, right? And then she was all like, she just left me on red, which was again another sign of just like things were off, and I was like, whatever, like whatever. I was literally, I had like it drafted in my mind of just texting her like the night of or whatever, the night before, because not like that last minute like some people have done to me, but like enough advance, but also to give her time to respond, to where I'd acknowledge, okay, yeah, she's not responding, she's not interested, I'm just gonna cut it. And so I'd already drafted like the whole like, it looks like we just don't want the same thing, I wish you the best of luck. And then she eventually responded and basically said, yeah, I just don't see this romantically, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we could have said that. We could have said that before, like, the day of the date, because I don't know, whatever. Anyway, then I had a second one. The second girl, me and her clicked so well socially, okay? We just talked and we liked the same type of music, which is rare for me. in a weird way, because it's not like I like niche artists. I'm not like a Radiohead fan or something, but like it's just still rare, you know? Because my thing is I like pop music, but I don't just like pop music because it's pop music. I don't like it for the girlies. I don't like it for the people themselves. I don't care about Taylor Swift. I think she's genuinely probably a bad person. I don't care about Olivia Rodrigo. I don't. Tate McRae has a special place in my heart, but I'm not parasocial towards her. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not just like blindly like, wow, I love all of these songs. Like, I loved every Tate McRae song until I think she released Greedy, and that was about whenever she just became another pop girl at that point. Because again, I just don't have that blind interest, right? I want to like their songs because it tells a good story. I like a good storyteller. I like it. That's why I like Taylor Swift. She is amazing with her words. She is so talented, but I'm pretty sure she's a great businesswoman. You can't deny any of this stuff. I'm pretty sure she's a horrible person in real life. And that's probably what makes her a great businesswoman. But like, girl, she's playing all y'all with her politics and all that stuff. Be so for real. She just knows her fan base. She's a businesswoman, not a politician. But like, she's gonna say what her fans want her to say. She knows how to play the game. We all know it. She married an NFL tight end. An NFL tight end. The PR, the collision of worlds. That girl plays the game. But no, I don't think she's a great person. No, I don't want to keep up with her life. No, I don't know who Joe Alry is. Like, you know what I mean? And so me and this girl were really connecting over like songs and stuff, and for me that's just not normal. And so I was having a good time. We were having a good time. And then we went on the first date, and I was like, I can't say I was nervous, because I will say, like I said, my self-confidence has gotten pretty good. I kind of have the mindset of, I'll put in my effort. If they don't put in their effort, then fine. And so we went on the first date. We just got, what did we do for the first date? I think for the first date, we just got coffee. I don't think we did, because I think coffee wasn't until the second date. The first date, what did we do? I think we got coffee. I can't even remember. I think we got coffee. And then we had a good time. I had a good time with her. And there was definitely some like things we didn't agree on, obviously. But like, I don't think I noticed it on the first date. But I will say, as of the first date, I started noticing discrepancies of like what I'm looking for versus like who she is and all of that stuff. Oh yes, I recall the first date. We went and got coffee, then we walked around and talked for a while, then we went to Yard House and we got a beer, meaning a singular one. It was actually really disappointing, because I hate just getting one drink, because what is the point? We should have just not gotten a drink. But I told her, I was like, straight up, it was 8 p.m. We'd been hanging out and talking for like 4 hours. I was dead sober, and my bedtime is like 6 p.m. low key. And so I know alcohol will re-energize me. And I know caffeine's not really going to do much for me except not make me feel great and not sleep. And so I was like, look, we have two options right now. We can get a drink, or we need to schedule a second appointment because I need to go to bed. And then she's like, I mean, I'm down. But she said she didn't really drink. So I was like, well, okay, I'm just letting you know you don't have to drink, but I'm going to get a drink. And she's like, what if I want a drink? And I was like, then get a drink. Like, what am I going to do? Be like, no, you can't have a drink. And that like triggered her in of itself. She's like, oh. And I was like, right, I'm not going to do that. If you want a drink, get a drink. And so we got, again, literally a single drink. And I was all like, do you want another one? And she's like, I'm good. And I was like, okay, that's fair. Because again, she said she didn't drink or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm not going to have a second one, but we need to like wrap this up. We ended up staying out until 11 when the bar closed. It was actually really romantic and cute, because it was just when that song from Olivia Rodrigo came out, Drop Dead, where she says, I know the bar closes at 11. I hope you never finish that beer. That was literally me that night. And so I was like, that's our song forever, for real. Even though me and that girl didn't work out. And so afterwards, I was like, hey, I had a really good time. I can't wait to do this again. But I was so busy because it was Stagecoach weekend, which I know is kind of like, but I'm so into like Coachella and Stagecoach. I just am. I love it. And so I was like dressing up and watching it and all that stuff. I loved it. Um, and it's like top priority because as we're seeing and as we've seen in the past, you shouldn't prioritize people you don't know well over yourself, because it just doesn't always end well. Most of the time, it really doesn't end well, in my experience at least. Um, and so it's better for me to have had those Stagecoach memories than for me to have gone on a date and then it fell through and me be like, I miss Stagecoach for that. You know what I mean? So I have no regrets. But anyway, I was like, look, Stagecoach is tomorrow. I have so much going on because you would not believe how busy I stay. And especially because this was like the beginning of whenever I was staying busy and stuff. Um, and I was like, I really don't know when I'm going to be available next, but I am going to do like a Costco run. So if you want, we can like go to Starbucks and then like maybe go to Costco after if you're feeling up to it and stuff. So we did that. Again, had a great time. Ironically, she told me about, because she didn't know that I was like doing Stagecoach or anything yet at this point. I just told her I wasn't available during the weekends because telling somebody I had to watch Stagecoach on my TV is kind of just not a great first impression. So I just told her I was busy. You know, I don't need to elaborate more than that. And so she was like, yeah, I'm down. So we went to Starbucks, and then she started telling. I brought up Coachella somehow. Somehow it came up. I don't know. And she just started going off about how Coachella is such a waste of money and how she'll never go to Coachella because she'll never be able to afford it and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, because like she has no idea that she's telling somebody who loves Coachella and stuff. Not that I disagree. I mean, yeah, people waste a lot of money at Coachella and on Coachella. Yeah, it's not affordable, but like, I mean, saying you'll never have the money to go is not true. It's a choice, you know, like, but I don't disagree with her arguments per se, but she had no idea that I loved Coachella and she was saying all of this. Um, and so I was like, oh, another like red flag, like, you know. But then we started going, she was like, are you ready to go? And I was like, oh, you want to go to Costco? And she's like, yeah. And so we started walking around Costco having some free samples. We actually saw each other shopping, which I think was really intimate and honestly kind of fun. Because like I feel like you can get to know somebody and their lifestyle based on how they shop. At least you could get to know me well. And so I had like 5 bottles of wine in my cart. Because again, you go to Costco to bulk buy. You don't go to Costco to buy 1 bottle of wine. But I had like 5 bottles of wine and like a ton of I had like hummus and naan bread and all this stuff. This was before my cut, by the way, not surprisingly. And it was pretty healthy, honestly. I would have seen my cart and been like, okay, Health King. But you saw me like price analyzing, and I also had a box of soju that I still have. Fantastic. I would recommend it. If they're still selling it, they were selling Good Day soju at Costco. It was a 6-pack of soju bottles, which is a lot of soju bottles. Fantastic. It was like $1.70 per bottle, which is so cheap, by the way. She didn't seem to think so. I do. Like, that's like a bottle of wine for like $1.70, just from a different origin. But anyway, and so, and it's Good Day too. It's not just some random no-name soju. But anyway, and so we went shopping. We really did have a good time. But then after about a day or something, I don't really know at what point, we were talking like normal, and I texted her, and I was like, she wasn't really responding. Again, things were off. But we can't imagine just communicating it. Imagine just saying, hey, I don't really know if I'm feeling it anymore because this, that. Can we talk about it? Or I don't know if I'm feeling it anymore. I wish you the best of luck. No, none of that. Just not texting me for a while. And so I gave her 24 hours. And the way that literally like 25 hours later, she responded. And I was like, are you so kidding me? It's breadcrumbing. You know what I mean? And then she's like, hey, sorry. What is that? Oh, the light just turned off. Okay. Sorry, guys. We have half lighting for now. But she was all like, this, that. Like, basically, she said, She has times of her life regularly. I guess basically I don't want to like put her information on blast. So I'm like trying to find how do I explain this. Basically, she said that she just doesn't check her phone. She was just not feeling great, so she didn't check her phone. And she doesn't really respond whenever she's feeling like that. It's not like depression or anxiety or mental health thing or whatever. It was a weak excuse because I was like, there's no way you just went 24 hours without checking your phone. Like, of course, there's a way, but with how much we've been talking, we were talking nonstop all day. Like, of course, there'd be like maybe a few hours between and stuff, but like, this girl does not just ignore her phone. She doesn't, and even if she does, fine. It's not gonna work for me because I was looking for that for like we were just in the beginning of the relationship, and if this early on it's gonna become that dead and dry and stuff, I know how I am. That's not gonna work with me, and the lack of communication is gonna work worse. You know how she could have at some point in 24 hours said, "Not feeling great, will respond," or anything of that sort, anything, and then elaborated later. But it wasn't until because the thing is she didn't even 25 hours later. She didn't even respond until I straight up said, "Hey, I think we're looking for different things. So I wish you the best of luck." That's when she finally said, "I have times when I'm not feeling great. I wasn't feeling great." But she responded to that text pretty quickly. But whenever I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I really wanted to hold out hope, but at that point she lost me. You know what I mean? We knew each other for like 3 days. And so it doesn't take a lot of time to lose somebody you just met, you know? And so at this point I lost all interest and I tried, but I just couldn't keep it up. But it was so sad. I really liked her, which is weird to say out loud actually. But it kind of made me sad to get ghosted, I guess. But anyway, so I've been scared of the dating apps ever since. Actually, she's not the last girl that turned me off of it. The last girl that turned me off of it was just a petty girl. It was just a girl. We made plans, and then she like blocked me like the day before for literally no reason. All I said was, "Can't wait to see you then." I didn't say anything else. Like I guess she just changed her mind or something. But that was just, again, all it takes is saying, "I'm not gonna be there," or I don't know, something. But like, oh, come on. Fortunately, I have trust issues, but you really would have, somebody else would have drove, literally, it was like 40 minutes out of my way, away from where I live. And then 40 minutes back. And I had to find parking because it was downtown and stuff. And who knows how long I would have waited there if I was somebody else. She would have just let that person or let me do that. And that was actually the point where I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this anymore. It's just like a waste of time. You know what I mean? And so now I've just been looking for friends, but even less of that lately. But I really should get back on the dating app market because it'll make for good stories, good conversation. You guys will have something to like listen to more about. I really should get back on it, but we'll see. Maybe I will. You know what? My challenge for you guys, I'm going to do it just for you guys. I'll do a few swipes, okay? And I'll try. I'll try just for you guys. And I'll keep you guys updated next episode. I'll let y'all know next episode how it's going. The nice part for you guys is that'll be about a 2-week period. So you guys get more information in less time. So I'll keep you all updated. I'll let y'all know. But yeah, dating has been weird. And I'm not going to lie, it could be way worse. Like I could have fully fell in love with a girl. And then, but my thing is I'm just not that dumb. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing is 2 of these relationships could have been, which I don't know if we should call them, you know what I mean. But 2 of these relationships could have easily become situationships. But I know the game, okay? So I said, no, I'm just going to straight up say, if this isn't what you're looking for, tell me. Or I can tell this isn't what you're looking for. I wish you the best. Because I'm not playing a game where I fall in love with a girl and she breaks my heart because she was just stringing me along because she was bored. Like, no. And also I can tell there was one girl that was trying so badly. We already talked about her. She was, what was it? She was peanut butter girl. She I don't remember what she said she likes to eat, but that girl just acted like I was a toy. And I was like, oh, you think you're so cute? You think this is going to work? I know this game better than you ever will, girl. Like, I am not going to keep asking you questions like a little golden retriever. Like, no. Um, Pause. But regardless, whatever. It's been a journey. Even the people that I've met as friends have been interesting, but I will say originally I didn't even try to meet friends. I was just trying to find more girls on Facebook dating. I was like, new market, because I didn't even know it existed. Haven't even really swiped at all on girls on Facebook dating. It keeps trying to make me match with girls, but then I see the girls it tries to make me match with, and I'm like, they're not my type, and you never made me look at their bio, so I'm just not convinced enough to put effort into it. Especially because my biggest argument behind it is they didn't match with me either. It's not like they swiped on me. It's purely Facebook thought that you would be a good match, so start talking to each other. And so it's like, you know what I mean? I have no interest in the conversation. I have to go to the bathroom so badly. I will be right back. 4 minutes later, I'm back. Okay, and so is my dog, apparently. So, I got another beer while we were at it. Another one of the quitting times because we're almost done. Let me finish this. I got another one of the quitting times. So, yeah, because we're almost done. Then we just have to edit it. I have to edit even more because somebody, me, decided to go to the bathroom instead of just sticking out the last 5 minutes. But to be fair, I really had to go to the bathroom. And the alternative was me visibly having to go to the bathroom on camera. So that's not ideal. Well, not like that. Pause. I meant like, as in like shaking from like having to go to the bathroom. Like pause. Hold on. Anyway. So we're almost done with this. Can't wait to upload this, edit it, render it. It's going to be a process, but we're going to get it done. And then we are going to go and start cleaning everything. Tidying up the place, making sure the garage is cleared out. I don't think it should be that much work. And then I'm really hoping we can go on my run later. Because I don't know how I'm going to navigate that. Because I could just skip my run for the day, but I feel like if I skip today's run, I'm going to skip more runs, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying these beers. So I don't know. I don't want to do too much. We'll see. But yeah, all of that to say, basically, dating has been an interesting process for me. But I'm going to keep y'all updated. I'm going to give y'all all of the interesting information of what occurs. Because, I mean, of course, I've had other dating experiences, but they're just not as interesting. It just, the girl's boring. She's dry. She's whatever. I hate a dry person, by the way. Not like, okay, I don't hate you personally, fine. But, like, why are we being dry in 2026? You know what I mean? There's so much to talk about. There's so many things to do. The last thing I'm going to leave off on is that... Oh, my dog is so cute. That's not the last thing, but... the last thing I'm going to leave off on is... I'm so excited, you guys. Big Brother, which is, by the way, what I used to watch while I was, like, demolishing chips. I want to make a drinking game and eat chips out of it. Eat chips during it. I could do that. I'm going to do that. I don't know when or how, but I'm going to do it. My dog just shoves his face in me all the time. He's so cute. He's such a good boy. It's okay. But anyway, if I'm not perfectly centered, just know it's because of my dog, so it's okay. So, anyway. And so, my dog is so distracting. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, let's crack this open before the time ends. Ready? Wait, y'all want some ASMR? Hold up. Ready? My dog had to shake right. I could have clipped that. You had to shake right when I opened it. Oh, he's such a good boy. Anyway, oh, you can see him. Say hi, guys. But anyway, that's about it. That's all that I really have for you guys. Let me take a sip. Let me tell you how it is. That's annoying. Anyway, one last thing, actually. I put away all of my food right when I got home, except I didn't. I left the tuna out, and it's been out for like 2 hours now. So now I'm mad because I don't think I should eat tuna that's like a day old and has been left out for like 2 hours, but like still, my dog is just distracting all of y'all and I know it. he said it's time to be done working, and he's not wrong. Technically, this is double the amount of time I'm usually recording. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. My tuna, I'm probably gonna throw away because it wasn't cold to the touch, and it was only out 2 hours, like exactly, and it's only like a 24 hours old, but still, I just don't play. So that's unfortunate. I'll probably be eating a protein shake for dinner now. But thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, if you could like and follow, that would mean so much to me. Leave the best rating you can, whether that's a like, 5-star, 10-star. It helps me out so much. If you have a friend who you think would like this podcast and enjoy it, please share it with them. And yeah, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode. I love you all so much. I can't wait to see you all next week. And bye, guys. Love you. Say it back. My dog is now... He's sitting right here. Right here. Can you see him? You can probably see him. He's just like, you're not getting out of that chair. Okay, hold on. There we go. Bye, guys. Love you. Say it back.